One of the most common terms associated with modern living is this: a rat race, an endless self-defeating and pointless pursuit. And this is how the rat race is perceived in the highly corporatized, market-driven society. A constant chase of the upgrading of your living standards and an effort of earning more and more. And many people label this pursuit as futile, as most of us might never earn the amounts required to live a lavish lifestyle without worries of running out of money. In short, most of us will never be millionaires. Hence, spending our whole life working hard to increase our income level is pointless, as we might never have enough. But then there are those rich and famous who had enough and still lost it. And then these, who face convictions for millions of dollars in tax evasions. Then the question arises, what is the real rat race? These visuals might indicate a deceiving image of the economic condition of the general public. But the reality is that most people in US and globally live paycheck to paycheck, and this reality has turned worse and crueler since the pandemic. A traditionally accepted idea of a decent life is owning a house, a car, the ability to afford education and health care, and a nice outing once a week. Many economists predict that households with $100,000 per year income or the upper middle income group can achieve this idyllic lifestyle. But things aren't all rainbows and sunshine, even for the aforementioned upper middle income group. Now, there has to be some relation between these reports and these images. To understand it deeply, we need to evaluate the concept of money, its value, and its utilization in our lives. What is the one thing that connects the whole of humanity? While philosophically, the answer can be love or God, but in practical terms, it is money. The paper money that we know today has traveled a long road and was pivotal in the Industrial Revolution that changed the global markets. But it doesn't matter what the shape and form of currency are, be it the barter system of early people or the cryptocurrency. The real question is what money represents, and that is value. And this isn't the emotional value, rather the economic, market-decided value. For instance, a loaf of bread holds an entirely different personal value to someone hungry for days and to someone who has a surplus in every meal. But the price or the market value of that loaf would be the same for both of them. And this value is not random. Many economic factors decide the value or price of each and everything, including the money we make for the work we do. The first step is to understand this concept of money in pure market value terms and not linking it with personal morals. We have all heard this quote. This statement is further cemented into our psyche by the image of rich and powerful in the media. But it is important to pull back and look at the original quote from Paul the Apostle to understand its context. Both philosophically and practically, this statement makes sense. It's not the money or the desire to earn it that creates evil and causes problems in people's lives and makes them vulnerable at the end of every month, but their relationship with it. And to manage money successfully, you have to evaluate your relationship with it. Your usage of money is what decides whether you will live a financially balanced life or one ridden with credit card debts. This old proverbial analogy of money is simple, timeless, and accurate, just like much age-old wisdom. The sad part about the modern living and education system is that we are not well prepared about the real-life financial education that we need from an early age. The developed world leads to a paradoxical existence of the abundance and scarcity, the abundance of consumption, yet the scarcity of the resource to purchase them at the same time. Many people live in this paradox every month. It translates to partying on the payday, heavy purchases on sale weeks, 72-inch TVs on the credit card, and then low to nothing savings at the end of the month. To strike a good fiscal balance, you have to go back to the cliché of budgeting. Take your monthly salary in one corner, then think of things you absolutely need. Save a good amount from the rest, and then spend on the things you want. Now, how can you differentiate between your needs and your wants? A very simple technique to identify your needs might be anything you will still buy even if you never saw any advertisement for it. Now, I'm not suggesting that the only way to have a decent financial situation is to live frugally and approach life as a minimalist. It is completely fine to want things, chasing comfort and even luxury. But it is imperative for a balanced life to stretch your feet according to your coverlet. It is not wise to drive your car up to the last drop of fuel without refueling the tank. It is not wise to expect to get healthy while eating unhealthily, and it is not wise to think your fiscal conditions will change without changing your spending habits. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. To simplify this point, money is an expendable resource, and its value is judged not by how much you earn, but how much you retain. It is not the amount that enters your bank account on the payday, but the amount that stays on the last day of the month, which you can utilize and scale further. This leads us to an even bigger question. How can one scale their income if they don't see any future growth in their jobs? This takes us back to the point of people living paycheck to paycheck. If you follow many online financial gurus, half of them preach a frugal lifestyle, and the other half lure their viewers with fake get-rich-quick schemes. The media vilifies the regular 9-to-5 jobs without realizing that those are necessary both for the people working for them and the society in general. The reason for this willfully ignorant campaigning is relatability. Most people are frustrated with their jobs and want to change their financial conditions quickly. So the simple rule of demand and supply births many of these self-help gurus who give easy answers that most people can digest. But we have to understand that there are no shortcuts to success. This is what the real rat race is. Not working regular jobs, chasing comfort or luxury, but not planning it well and doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So, what is the solution to it? Just like the money we spend, the money we receive or earn is also a value. It is the value based on our production capability. In an hourly wage job, the more hours we put into the production, the more money we make. But there is a finite amount of hours we can work, hence only a finite value we can produce. So how can we break the circle? For this, we have to look beyond the number of hours we put in and ask ourselves, what are these hours used for? What is the actual service that we can provide? This takes us back to the point of the market deciding the value of production. Harsh as it may sound, but the reality is, some services in the market hold less value than others. Even if a person works 2 or 3 jobs that offer no scalability, their earnings would be limited and their mental and physical health would be adversely affected, leading them to a strained personal life. Now, this may sound gloomy and lead to a feeling that the game is rigged against you, that the rich might have the tricks up their sleeve that you can't conjure, or maybe they are born into wealth. But the reality is that a vast majority of millionaires in today's society are self-made. And the way they did it is they found a problem in the society, gave a solution, and scaled that solution to create value. Now, we are not saying that every person can come up with the next Amazon or Tesla or Microsoft. These high-tech individuals indeed came up with once-in-a-lifetime ideas and solutions to the market. But what each of us can do is identify a problem or a demand in the market that you can give a solution to or fulfill the supply of, and then make that solution scalable. Working in a gaming company is limiting, but creating an easily downloadable and engaging game is scalable. Opening and running a small, specialty restaurant is restrictive and takes a long time to break even. But creating a franchise around specialty food is highly scalable and rewarding. Driving a truck generates limited income, but opening a transportation company is expandable. Take an example of this or any other YouTube channel with good fellowship. We find topics that people are interested in, research them, and create appealing videos consistently that in turn connect with more and more people, scaling the viewership of the channel. This is what your goal is, to find a pond where you can be a big fish. And don't think that this is undoable if you have failed once. There are plenty of examples around that made it happen, no matter how late in life. So find a problem, strive for a workable solution, and make it scalable. And remember that the first week of the gym is the hardest. So is the first time when you pick up a guitar, or as a child when you first learn the alphabet. But instead of focusing on the difficulties of today, creating a clear vision of your end goal is how you achieve a healthy body, play amazing solos, or write eloquent essays. To sum it up, the first thing to attain a healthy relationship with your money, you need to journal your expenses thoroughly. Begin with spending on the essentials, save some amount, and then chase after luxuries. It's not about how much you make, but how much you end up with. These sacrifices of leisure and excess that you make today will lead to more secure life and a better consumption balance. Then, if you feel that you're stuck in a rut of your meaningless job, identify a problem or a demand in the market, find a creative and unique solution to it, and make it scalable. If you fail the first time, don't repeat the same mistakes. Rather, take a different approach that has not been taken before. Don't panic about running out of time as long as you're trying. Always keep these people on your mental vision board. If this pandemic and the economic chaos that followed has taught us anything, is that your current financial condition is fragile, and the sooner you take command of it, the better. Your relationship with your money is the one that will inadvertently affect all the relations in your life. And to keep a good balance in your life, you need to strike a balance with your money.